After 20 years of sucking butt, Marvel finally did it. Let me explain it for you. It's 2005, we got Sam Raimi Spider-Man, we got the X-Men, life is good. And then out of nowhere, Fox says, let's make a Fantastic Four movie. And critically, this movie flopped. Everybody hated it, but somehow it got a part 2, and they hated that even more. So then Fox said, all right, let's try this all over again. And it was an absolute nightmare. Fantastic was so bad, it really felt like we were never going to see these characters again. But then another 10 years went by, and Kevin Feige said, you know what, let me cook this one up. And not only is this the best Fantastic Four movie ever made, but I think this is the best superhero movie of the year. Look, when I heard Pedro Pascal was Mr. Fantastic, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little pissed off. I was like, we're seeing this man's face everywhere. The guy literally has 3 movies out at one time right now. Has this ever been done before? But man, I was dead wrong. This guy was a phenomenal Reed Richards. Honestly, everyone did good. The whole cast was great. They even made Silver Surfer a chrome-naked woman instead of a man. I don't know why I didn't like this at first. This was a great idea.
Hello, and welcome to the end of my fantastic weeks as I'm finally going to review probably the hardest thing I've ever had to review. If you see the title of, not even the title, but the thumbnail for this, it's like, I love you, but. And so I've watched this 4 times. It took me 4 times to even get to this point. And I wasn't even quite sure like what exactly is the but I think I might be able to articulate that today, hopefully. So it's not going to be a super long live. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to highlight 1 or 2 things, and we're going to get into this review. And then I'll talk about a couple of fun finds and what's next. But this was a tough one because you didn't want to put any unnecessary negativity on this movie, and at least I didn't. And yeah, I saw this one more time than I saw Superman, so I wanted to make sure, and also we watched Thunderbolts because I wanted to make sure if I said what I had to say, it was warranted. So what we're going to do before we get into the review is give a shout out to our intro. Shout out to Gio. I will have the links to his channel after I finish this live. But he said a lot of key things I was resonating. It is a really good movie. It is the best Fantastic Four of the, let me see, we had one in 2005, part 2 in 2007, and a reboot in 2015. So it is the best of those 3. And so I'm like, that's a good start. But so that he for him, this was his favorite, I'm assuming, comic book movie. I will answer which was mine, how I feel, where this places with me. But let's get in. Oh, also, I did see Freaky Friday. I will be talking about this towards the end. But that's me and my Freaky Friday fit. But enough about me avoiding this review. It is the review I was dreading to do and still am. But here we go. But I think I figured out what the issue is, so let's get into it. I love this movie, but that has been my energy the whole time I've seen this. I saw it on day one to us, the fan event. Honestly, that was the beginning of the issue. So let me just backtrack a little bit before I go into the review, because this is definitely part of the obstacle that this movie had that Superman didn't have for me. So I saw this at the Regal in 4DX plus, the 3D glasses. So when I get there, it's a lot of chaos. Where's the Galactus bucket? Like, it was a meltdown, literally over the Galactus bucket. And what happened was the staff did not have the grace to get through the shift, efficiently. So it made me, I think, 10 minutes late to the movie. I was so annoyed. This is one time I really needed those commercials to be 30 freaking minutes. It was more like 20. I get there around I believe it started at 7. I get into the theater at 7:30. to make matters worse, my seat's not working. I paid extra money for this 40X experience. My seat's not working. So then I had to walk in the front and find an empty seat, because usually the front row, nobody's there. This is the worst experience for 40X, that front row. So I sat in seat 1 and I was like, oh, this seat really sucks. And then I tried to inch over a little bit more towards the center. Still having issues with the 3D glasses. And we're already 10 minutes late. And now that I've seen this movie several times, that first 10, 15 minutes is important. It's giving you some exposition about what's going on, the origins of Fantastic Four, whatever, right? So then I'm in the front instead of where I was supposed to be, because my section's broken. The 3D in the front is the worst experience I've ever had at a theater, period. Then I have this popcorn bucket here, and I'm trying to keep this from getting smashed from the seats moving. So this is a lot of external distractions taken away from the movie. And then, so I missed key information. I'm dealing with my seat being messed up. I'm getting up and down multiple times. The glasses is disorienting the whatever. So basically my first time doesn't count. So shout out to Regal. They fixed it. I got my money back, and I used this money to see this 3 more times. And so the second and third time, so the second time I did see the part that I missed. I was like, okay, this movie makes a little bit more sense. We're in Earth 828. We're in a retro future. Because the first time I was like, why are we in the future? I mean, not in the future. Why are we in 1960? Like, what's going on? We're in a whole different world, right? So now I got that backstory for the second time, but I fell asleep. Third time, same thing happened. I fell asleep. Now I said, okay, cool. I think the problem is I'm going after work. I'm exhausted. Let's go the fourth time. 4 o'clock is showing. We're good to go. And I'm seeing this on the big IMAX. Great experience. And it was on the fourth time. I'm not falling asleep. No seats moving. No weird 3D. It's just we're seeing it as it's meant to be. The glory of the full IMAX at Lincoln Square, the biggest screen in New York for IMAX. It was an amazing experience, an amazing movie, and it took me 4 times to get there. But I don't want to say it took me 4 times. I probably would have got this experience if I saw it maybe 1 or 2 times in the IMAX, still properly seated, yada, 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 right? Once I see it the 4th time without falling asleep, I said, this movie is excellent. And I can't help but to wonder, though, would I have gotten to this conclusion if I saw it in the, got there on time, didn't miss the trailers, the beginning, No, I don't know. We'll never know, right? But we get here, this movie's great, and I honestly wanted to see it again. But I was like, you know what, Trish? 1, I am not a AMC A-lister. I am actually paying for this. Now, twice I paid for it half off because I saw it on a Tuesday and Wednesday at AMC, and I saw it back to back. And then the 4th time, they had like a special free poster I'll show you guys towards the end if you saw it in IMAX. And then it was just an awesome experience. Just awesome. But it took me a while to get here. And even with the good experience, understanding everything that's going on, the backstory, I'm still here with this. And I think I finally figured out why. So let's just drop this in. Spoiler alerts, if you have not seen this movie, please get off. I'm going to talk about a few things that might mess it up for you. Not a lot of spoilers, just, come back another time. Thank you for coming through. I love you. Come back. All right. With that being said, what worked? The casting for me really, really, really worked. It had the strong, rooted family bond. You really felt like this is a real couple married. Johnny, at first I liked the original Johnny from 2007, but this one has grown to be my favorite Johnny. And we'll get into that a little later. Ben, the gentle giant, he was just, being the best. uncle possible. And of course, it did have a little bit, a family banter. It worked, and it made it really believable. And shout out to Herbie. I wish they had more Herbie merch. I know the only Herbie item they had was the AMC. I saw that thing one time, which is the fan event, and never saw that thing again. And so, Herbie had my heart. There's always Disney's really good at always having something that makes you go, we need more merch. Herbie was it for me. And for me, the real draw to this, the main reason why I gave this movie a chance out the gate was freaking Pedro Pascal. Because I did not care for Fantastic Four at all. It was not on my list of things to watch, even though I did a trailer reaction to this. I think the internet did help push it a little bit. But when I saw Pedro come on the screen, I remember when I did the reaction, I said, oh, Pedro's in this. I'm all in. And, all my merch has pretty much been Pedro, right? And so what I wasn't expecting is falling in love with all four characters. Now I love Sue. Now I love Ben. Now I love Johnny. And of course, we're here for freaking Pedro, Mr. Fantastic himself, right? So casting is a check. Now I do not know the lore about Fantastic Four. Like I've said before in this whole Fantastic Four week series, this was not on my radar for things to like. But of course, you learn from being in this space. This is a very important family. This is the first family of Marvel. They are the foundation to what we see right now, right? So of course you want to give it a chance. And of course, that's why we had the watch parties. We're watching, the one from 2005, 2007, 2015. We're all in. We want to know who these people are and why does Marvel keep on insisting we get to love them. And it worked. That if anything that I think is the biggest plus of this movie, I would almost say borderline hated this family, didn't care for this family because I didn't like the cartoons. I didn't like anything that I saw as a kid. I just did not like them. It might be like, it just didn't work for me. It never worked. My brother tried to get me into, I think there was a non-cartoon series, that he tried to, I was like, oh, JR, I don't like this. So now you got me like in Fantastic Four. I got the merch, I'm all in, right? So casting check. 2, I kind of liked how they just kind of jumped in. Yes, you get some backstory. You find out how they become the heroes. But at the end of the day, it's just like, been there, done that. We're just going to get into the action. And you get to see how they are as heroes every day, eating their cereal, been walking down the street, talking to the locals. Sue, making the world a better place. One of her powers, and even though no one talks about that, is her charm. She is able to pretty much charm people to do whatever she needs them to do. We see that with Mr. Mo. Sue is your world, healer here. She's the face of the group at times. And so I love how we get to see that family dynamic. I love how it works. It all comes together. Check, right? So, it's kind of like Superman. Let's just get into the action. No need to waste time there. By far, the retro-futuristic style is a chef's kiss. Now, not only did I appreciate the aesthetics of World 828, but the fashion was a yes for me. As you could see, I have my color headband. I have purchased multiple retro boots. I have headbands in every color. My whole fashion aesthetic has changed for 2025. I didn't see this coming. And honestly, out of all the fashion decades, I'm going to say the 60s mod look / 70s look is my favorite look. So now I'm like, all right, I love the aesthetics. And like I said, I've been purchasing some furniture pieces. And honestly, you'll see this futuristic mod look in Andor. And I think it's because the Jetsons kind of set the bar of what the future looks like. Our future looks like piece of our past infused with the future. And this is part of this retro world that they have created for us. And I love it. I absolutely love it. You feel like this place truly exists. It's something that it's like, oh my gosh, I hope we see more of Earth 828. I'm all in. The fourth thing that I love, the villains felt like a threat. Galactus being the main villain, the planet eating Galactus itself, um, and the female super surf thing. I know that's not her name, a Silver Surfer, but the female one, Shalar or whatever. You are afraid for your life. You know, she was like, I herald I herald the beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus. Kiss your loved ones. Say what you need to say. If you have a confession, get it out because your days are numbered. You felt it. She was like, dang, I don't know how to tell y'all this, but you guys are screwed. Like your destiny is death. And so, you know, it worked. It worked. The villains were villaining for me, right? I was like, dang, bro. And Galactus scared the fire out of me. You felt this big purple mother effer just sit on the scene like, ooh, hide your kids, hide your wife, try to move a planet from another freaking dimension if you could. This man is not playing. He's here to eat. He's here to eat. So, and honestly, the unexpected, I would say, winner is Johnny. Johnny, for me, was the breakout person I came for. I did come for Pascal or Mr. Fantastic, but Johnny won it for me. He always, first, he was always willing to sacrifice himself to save his nephew, and that was constant. He did it like 2 or 3 times. He did a great job translating the language so he can communicate with the surfer better. And essentially some of Johnny's efforts of trying to save the family is a big reason why. I mean, honestly, they all played a significant role. I don't want to like undermine anybody. Sue did her thing, Mr. Fantastic, but Johnny works for me. There's just something about Johnny. He kind of like stole the show, but it works. It works. And so what didn't work for me was, even though I appreciate how realistic this world is, it is more grounded and darker. It's the darker tones that kind of took away from a traditional Marvel movie. The reason why I watched Thunderbolts, because Thunderbolts was serious. You know, it was based on mental health and just dealing with our demons and how friendship brings us all together, right? So it's still grounded, right? Thunderbolts is grounded. It is darker, but this was different. This was almost like it, for example, Thunderbolts had more humor, even though it was darker and more grounded. I felt like we didn't have as much comedic beats as I'm used to for a Marvel film. And so it didn't quite work for me, even though it's a good film. You know, me seeing all of the majority of the MCU movies, the only other movie that was kind of grounded like this in terms of like lack of humor that I can remember, because I haven't seen all the Marvel movies or haven't rewatched them all, was Hulk. Hulk, it wasn't a lot of comedic beats either, you know? And I was just like, again, it's not a bad thing, but I feel like this is part of the reason why I was struggling a little bit to like really be as like Thunderbolts. I found myself like a little bit more into it than this one, but it didn't suck. You know, like when you keep watching this, you do appreciate its groundedness and its darker notes and its maturity, but it takes time. I wasn't expecting this, especially when you have the Thing in your promos. I'm not thinking grounded, or Johnny. If you saw Johnny in 2005 or 2007, again, I'm waiting for those comedic beats. You know, it's just not really there. You have moments, but not too many. I honestly wanted them to lose. Now, keep in mind, guys, I am not a freaking comic book expert. Maybe at the end of this journey of YouTube, yes. But right now, I'm in the beginning of this restructuring of my channel. I'm just getting into comics to this level. There's a lot of things I don't know. I'm leaning more to the normie side. So I don't know in the comics how Galactus is, but you're telling me if Galactus is a eating planet villain, he's destined to eat the planets. I guess it's supposed to bring some balance to the force. Can you tell me how these fools won? Now, granted, I will give Mr. Fantastic his props. This man's intelligent. Actually, his biggest strength is his mind. I think he's probably the most intelligent person, period. That's his flex. And so, you know, he's figuring out how to save the world, how to save the freaking family, whatever, his son. I would have just liked for freaking them to lose. I mean, they lost. I mean, I do remember they did when they first tried to defeat him. They did lose, but I wanted them to stay losing. I wanted this planet to get eaten up. As much as I love the Earth 828, I wanted the planet to get eaten up. I wanted, you know, I guess some people to find a way to get away. You know, maybe like Superman. Couple of people from 828 made it, but the majority got eaten up by freaking Galactus. That would have been a really good dark ending. If we're in darker tones, we're trying to be realistic. Again, I don't know how it is in the comic books, but I'm like, you guys rewrite stuff and do what you want anyway. I just want this planet to lose. Or, you know, because I mean, a planet did get eaten up, but why not theirs? You put your family over everybody. Everybody hated your behinds because it's just like, well, Galactus wanted us to have the ultimate sacrifice. He was asking too much. All right, well, here's the consequences. You want to save Franklin? Then we're eating up your planet. Right now, I don't mind if Franklin stays with them, but it would have been nice for that planet to get messed up. So even though it was a good fight, I was just like, come on, y'all. This dude is big as God knows what. Ho ho ho, purple giant. How is he losing to y'all? How is he losing? Now, granted, brain over brawn. We even get these notes in Superman. But I'm just saying, in the world of superheroes, you know, kind of like Thanos, like he won at least for part of it, for part one of it, the whole Thanos journey. You know what? Let's have a whole planet eaten because this family's too selfish to give up Franklin. Right? Because that's realistic. You want to keep your son? All right, here's the consequence. Now, since we didn't go that way, it is what it is. You know, everything's neatly wrapped up in a bowl. That's one thing I kind of did like better with Superman. Superman kept getting his butt kicked constantly. And then eventually when he won, you're like, ah, I felt like if the planet got eaten or really messed up because they didn't give up the sun, even if you didn't want to destroy the planet, Galactus should have effed this planet up, bro. He should have just like, there should have been such havoc for not giving up Franklin. You know, it's like, and then maybe like the people would have been like, look what you did. Look at all these people who died because of you. Because I was like, that would be more realistic. So that's one thing I just kind of wish there was higher stakes for them choosing their son over everyone else. Just saying. And there was something missing. And to this day, to this minute, I can't quite put my finger on it. Let's talk about what was right. The freaking, the set was amazing. It felt real. It was awesome. The casting was good. Top-notch production. Everything right. The villain was really good. The villains were really on point. And yet there was something lacking. And that's the reason why I didn't want to do this daggone review, because I can't quite pinpoint it. But the good thing is, while I was dreading doing this freaking this review, I'm not the only person who can't quite put my finger on this. And I think it shows in the number. I personally think because Marvel has such a loyal fan base, even with the obstacle of not everyone quite knowing who Fantastic Four is, I felt like because you had good casting, good costume design, good production, good everything, like the outfit was popping, like everything about this world works for me. I felt like something was not quite there. It's definitely more mature. Like I couldn't see myself bringing young kids to it. I think it's too much dialogue for a kid to really get into this. Maybe like a 10-year-old and up. I'm talking about younger kids. No. Superman, I'm keeping it real. I could bring anybody at any age. You got the freaking dog, you got the silliness, like everything works. All the in term and plus Superman was much brighter. It was a much brighter atmosphere. Um I don't know. This felt more like Doomsday, which makes sense because Doomsday, I believe, is their next freaking movie. So we're not going to make it rainbows and brightness like the world. There's a lot at stake. And of course, again, major spoiler alert. In the end credit, in the post credit or mid credit, we do see Doom. Dr. Doom, we see him there. So it does make sense to have those darker tones because we're going into a much bigger series of movies being actually Spider-Man's the next one. Then it's Doomsday, then I think it's Secret Wars. So I'm sure there's a lot at stake. That's why I kind of felt like, damn, y'all should either really mess up their planet or you should have ate that freaking planet. And then it really would have been more. And when I saw the post credit in Thunderbolts and the ship looked like it was coming to Earth 616 or whatever, it kind of would have made sense because like either they have no planet or their other planet so messed up or Franklin is so much danger they had to go. I don't know. Am I alone on this? But it's that something that was missing is the reason why I feel like the box office numbers just wasn't hitting. I'm not even sure if this is 500 million. Let me see if I can look this up real quick. Fantastic for numbers. Because from what I last checked, Superman still is beating freaking Fantastic Four. Box office. My bad. Box office numbers. Are we getting numbers? Nope, it's not at. I'll share my screen with you guys. It's not at 500,000 yet. It's now like I said, we'll state the obvious here in terms of out of all the Marvel things that have come out, this one had the most problems because of the previous uh Fantastic Four movies. But yeah, they're at 441.4 million, with 236.7 million domestic and 204 international market. So yeah, Superman's still winning in terms of box numbers. Which I'm not surprised. I'm keeping it real. It's that something that I can't articulate. I think is the reason why it didn't make the numbers that it did. I still think it's a great first step to phase 6. I think by the time we get to the other movies, Spider-Man, Doomsday, and the Secret Wars, I think Marvel would have learned some of the lessons from this one. Plus, DC's coming from their booty hole and they know it. So I feel like they're going to get to what's missing. I just I can't. So I'm not going to sit here and try to figure this out. I have delayed this review for over a week now because I was just like, what is missing from this movie? But with that being said, though, I would watch it again. I'm not sure if I'm going to wait till it goes to Disney Plus. I probably will pay for it once I see it. But yeah, right. And the battle was a letdown, but an okay movie. That's what I'm saying. I felt like it would have did better. Like if they lost. I'm sorry. This guy is a planet-eating villain. And I mean, like I said, if you're not going to eat the planet because it may not be the lore again, because I don't know the lore, then I'd have been like, no, I want casualties. This is a powerful being. I want people to borderline hate the Fantastic Four for not putting their son first over them. There has to be high consequences for that. And it just wasn't. It was everything was wrapped up in a neato bow. And I'm like, and that's where it lacked. I was like, bro, come on. Did it suck? Absolutely not. I really like this. As a matter of fact, I did a poll, but I'll get into that in a second. How compared to the previous, this is superior. That I will say. Superior. Better with the casting, better with the production. And like I said, the retro futuristic world works for me, mainly because I just love anything futuristic slash with that Jetsons aesthetic. Like it's a win. So it worked. But I'm hoping for future projects that they can get past it. Oh yeah, I would have preferred if Galactus ate their planet, and maybe then it would have lived up to the Thunderbolts. Yes, absolutely. I'm like, I think we just wanted more. We wanted them to lose more. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Especially one, they're the only superheroes on their planet. It's not like Superman. Superman, there's a bunch of metas everywhere. You know, even though I don't think Superman's a meta, he's more like an alien, but whatever. We'll just say meta for the point of the freaking movie. They have a team of people that could legitimately beat someone like Galactus. It's just four of them. And granted, Franklin is a very superior being. He's still a freaking baby. He's still a baby. So it's these four. I'll count Franklin, but come on. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, so the most controversial or most common question that was asked the entire summer, because it was a comic movie against a comic movie, DC versus Marvel. They both came out July. You know, they were ready to fight. According to you guys, before I reveal it, hold on. That is what I liked about Ironheart's ending. It still hits me after, unlike F4. Okay. I struggle with Ironheart's too, but I don't know. It's been a tough Marvel summer for us, but according to you guys, the results are in. The winner was Superman. Small margin. 33% chose Superman, 26 Fantastic Four, 17% both, and 24 of y'all was just like, I didn't bother. I struggle. I'm leaning towards more tie, but if I had to give a winner, I hate to say it, I'm giving it to Superman. Superman, I felt like there was more hope. And like I said, because even though some people hated that Superman getting his butt kicked, it was realistic. Lex Luthor finally was, I hope you guys saw Superman. I don't know if I'm messing up. Spoiler alert for Superman. Lex Luthor was finally figuring out how to beat Superman. And because of that, he constantly was being challenged in such a way that it's like when Superman finally won, you're like, dang, bro. And most important, Superman didn't do it alone. He had a team of people helping him. Because it's just like, well, Lex Luthor was studying Superman, not his allies. So it was interesting. But they were great movies. I highly recommend watching both. As of today, because I did this way later than I wanted to, Superman will be available for digital download. I believe it's going to be close to $30. Let me check my Amazon real quick. Maybe the price is up now. Superman 2025. Because I was like, of course, this doesn't come up right now. All right, let me try my iPad because I'm in my real account. And so it's not set up like, like in the iPad, the Prime is completely separate. But I don't know. I think the numbers speak for itself, and the fact that I'm not the only person that can't articulate that something's missing. I'm not alone. Um, People say that the Galactus didn't use his full power, or else they would have destroyed the planet. And Franklin still, yeah, right. I'm like, this is Galactus. Like, how? Granted, give a shout out to Mr. Fantastic. He's brilliant. I love his ideas on trying to save the planet, trying to move it to a whole different dimension or whatever. And of course, the idea of the little setup he had for Galactus, and he looked at them like smart little bugs. Like, we get it, brain over brawn, right? But I was just like, no, man, you guys messed up a very small part of this planet. Minimum half this planet should have been towed up, bro, if you wasn't going to eat the planet, I don't know. But hopefully for Doomsday, you remember like Thanos? Like, you felt like you come in his presence, you're a goner. Lex Luthor did a great job, considering Lex Luthor is not a meta, but he's very smart. You felt like Luthor was going to destroy freaking Superman. Like, there's got to be higher stakes, especially if we are trying to establish like, oh, this is the big bag. Even like Darth Vader, episode 4 in A New Hope, his presence scared the fire out of you. No, just stop playing. So listen, y'all, I'm surprised I'm seeing this, but we could rent. We can't rent. Oh, my bad. I got excited. No, listen, this is so stupid. So to rent it is $25, and to own it is $30. What would you do? If you're going to watch Superman before it streams on HBO, just freaking pay the extra $5 and keep it. It's a very good movie. Both Fantastic Four and Superman have very high rewatchability. I'm still chill and I still get chills from how many do we win scenes with Doctor Strange? With scenes with Doctor Strange, yeah. It's, I don't know. I don't know how long Fantastic Four is going to be in the theaters, but if you could watch it in IMAX. If you live in New York, I didn't go to there's 2 really big IMAXs in New York. There's one is Lincoln Square, and there's another one, I believe at 34th-ish and 2nd Avenue. I think it's called Kips Plaza or whatever. I need to go there. I haven't gone there yet. But if you could watch it in IMAX, it's stunning. But yeah, Superman's officially available to buy or rent, but I probably would buy it if it's only a $5 difference. And you get bonus content. We probably will have a watch party for Superman later on next week. I don't know. But I think that concludes my review. I really love the movie. I think the issue is I felt like Galactus should have freaking won. And then, of course, when we go into the next movies, then it's just like, yo, the big bad is this weird purple eating planet mofo. We got a lot to do. That would even force, if they had went that route, that probably would have even forced the villains to work with the heroes. Because I was like, yo, either we come together or he's going to eat our planet. Like All's at Stake, or if 616 is gone if we don't work together. It would have been interesting. Because I know in the previous Fantastic Fours, they had to work with Dr. Doom, I believe, both times. For that and the reboot. And then it's just like, it was like, damn, we got to work with this mofo. Yeah, because, there's a lot at stake. I think it just would have been a better. I mean, I'm going to trust Marvel. I'm going to trust them. But listen, DC's coming for your booty hole. You see, so far, they're the winner here. I mean, overall winner, I think, is Jurassic Park, which I have not seen. I don't know if I am going to see it. But you know something's wrong with Jurassic Park, Pichu, because usually Marvel will get high numbers. I understand we have new challenges in the movie space. The new normal is watching stuff at home, and I get and receive that. I don't have AC here. I don't have a fancy setup. I have a decent sized TV screen. It's like 50 inches, I think. Either it's 40 inches or 50, but it's old. It's so old. It's so old we don't even have a remote. We have to get up and like change things manually. But I think if I had a fancier setup, some cooler environment, some sound, I probably would have been seeing a lot of the stuff at home myself. Yo, people never talk about how Black Panther helped set up Infinity War much better. I think we should add another Black Panther movie before Doomsday. Well, it's possible. We don't know what Spider-Man's going to do. If it's going to be connective tissue in that way, you never know. Maybe Spider-Man might be the new Black Panther, or that one to like, hey, we're going to get ready for Doomsday. I even wonder if there'll be any connective tissue with Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. Are they even going to interact? Like, I mean, they are in a spaceship in Thunderbolts. Where are they going to? I mean, right now the world doesn't even know who Spider-Man is. So there's that. But I believe because Fantastic Four was on Earth 828, maybe I don't know. I mean, it's not like they can forget who Spider-Man was. They're not on this Earth. Who knows? I can't wait till next year. Next year, I'm so excited about everything. We have Spider-Man, we have Doomsday, we have Doom Part 3. Shout out to the Michael Jackson biopic. I am looking forward to freaking Grogu, even though people are like, oh my God, it's like basically Disney Plus on the screen. Who cares? Anybody, if you are new to my face, I love freaking Grogu a lot. There's some really cool movies coming out. I might be an A-lister next year because I definitely want to see a lot of these things on the premium screens, and I don't want to spend, by far, the most money I did spend. Actually, it might be a tie. It might be a tie between Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. Because I think in my case, I went to the fan event and an IMAX event, and those they don't really discount. So I think I paid about the same. Do you think we'll get a third MCU movie next year? I don't think so. I don't remember them mentioning that. I think it was just 2 movies. We might get an MCU series though. You know, we might get that. Heck yeah. That's funny. That is so funny. I feel like Grogu introduced a whole different element to non-Star Wars fans, and it's just a whole different feel. It's a whole different feel. It's kind of like I was telling people, like Superman, Man of Steel, and Superman Legacy or 2025. It's 2 different entities of entertainment, and they both can exist and be great in its own way. So you guys might want the more grounded Star Wars, and some of you guys might like the more lighthearted stuff like Grogu, but they both work. They both can exist. You know, like not everybody wants the doom and gloom of anything, you know? But I don't know. I definitely I'm not gonna lie, there are red flags with Marvel. Let's just be honest, guys. And these red flags have been going for a while. As much as everyone is not a fan of Brave New World, I did like Brave New World, but I would say Brave New World caused more problems than healed. But things did get better with Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. They got great reviews and even good Rotten Tomatoes score. But I feel like for you to have everything in your favor and you still didn't beat Superman, someone needs to talk. That's the elephant in the room. Why didn't you beat Superman when DC's fan base isn't even as strong in the box office? The Marvel's fan base, something went wrong. And I'm like, y'all need to figure this out, bro. Because, James Gunn is, he's just living it up. So I found a few fun finds for you guys. I've been lately letting people know anytime I find hard to find merch, I'll tell you with a timestamp where it is. Because, for example, I was trying to get Galactus for my friend's birthday this week, and unfortunately, we just couldn't find it. But I have to give the Reddit. I'm part of Reddit. Somebody said, "Hey, yo, it's at Regal 14th Street." I did my best to get there. I got there as quickly as I could, and I still missed it. But at least I kind of want to have that same value when I see something, get it up as quickly as possible, or at least have a timestamp and date. So if you be like, oh, when did Trisha put this up? Okay, boom, 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 boom. You guys know if it's even worth going to those locations. Yeah, they messed up. They were oversaturated. They definitely played the I don't want to say woke card, but I think they had the forced diversity card. And there's nothing worse than that. Let's appeal to this. And I mean, Disney in general is having an issue, but definitely Marvel. They had this weird thing for a minute where they were diluting the men. I honestly believe a strong woman and a strong man can exist without demasculating the man. Just like, I especially back in the days, I used to hate watching certain things with women, and people would treat women like, strictly sex objects, or their opinions didn't matter. Like, in other words, okay, you guys are not doing that, but then now you're demasculating the men. So now, like, Fantastic Four is a great example how there was a good balance of strong men with a strong woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to have both in the space. Like, what are we doing? So now that they're trying to find their balance, it's a lot. They made a lot of mistakes. There's a couple of Marvel movies I was like, dang, bro, what the hell? There was even a part, I think it was in the Marvels, where they had like a musical. It didn't suck, but it just didn't belong there. Who are you trying to appeal to? Like the Disney like the Disney hardcore fans? Like, this isn't, I mean, it is Disney, but it shouldn't be Disney. Like, what are we doing? So I believe around Thor, Love, and Thunder, when things were going down, yep, heck yeah. And I thought Love and Thunder, it was all right. But I think now this is the opposite. That movie, if I'm not mistaken, had too much comedic beats. It's supposed to be a little bit more grounded. It's about cancer, and it's a little darker. And here comes Thor making like random jokes. And I'm like, it's okay for Thor to be funny. That's what we love about Chris. He's gorgeous. He makes a joke here and there, but it's got a little too lighthearted. So I don't know. I mean, of course, next year, once I have the Disney Plus ad thing, because my Disney Plus and Hulu's only $3. So I'm not going to upgrade until that contract's over. I think I have a few more months of that. But once I'm out of the ad tier thing, we'll towards I would say in the summertime, we're going to watch all the MCU movies all over again. And we'll talk about the mistakes, the things that worked, the things that didn't work. And then, of course, then we also have the series. It's just too much going on. Too much. So just in case you are looking for merch, because the resale on Fantastic Four is very, very expensive because they never released a lot. Like, most of the stuff was sold out within 2 days. So this is why the resale value so high. Tuesday. Oh, I put the wrong. No, I said the right date, right? Yeah. Tuesday, August 12th, evening to be exact, like late evening. I found this awesome lanyard with 3 pins. I actually bought this for my friend's birthday, the one I couldn't get the Galactus pin for, bucket for. It had Galactus on it, and then it says Fantastic Four and Silver Surfer. Well, not the Silver Surfer, whatever the female's name is. That was $25.99. That was available at 34th Street on the west side, on 8th Avenue, right next to Chipotle's. Because I know there's 2 in the 34th, one's east, one's west. 42nd Street is the only place that I still see these tins. You look on freaking eBay, the cheapest you can get a tin is maybe like $40 plus shipping. If you want to get it in person, they're only $25 with tax. So I actually got the thing the other day. I was like, oh, because at first they were playing this blind nonsense, and that's why I was like, I'm not spending $25 multiple times for a blind item. But they are one of the few people, and they also have the Silver Surfer, and the Silver Surfer is very expensive. It's like $60 something on eBay. So if you're looking for it, I don't know if it's still available, but you might want to run there first thing in the morning. If you want to see if it's still there. But the minute you go to 42nd Street, that's the setup. That's on the lineup queue for the tickets. You'll know if it's there or not. It's right there. Also, if you want to get some cool vinyl, which I'm so tempted, you can go to DisneyMusicEmporium.com. And of course, I put Thunderbolts in there because we just saw it. And this was my fit for the Fantastic Four when I went there for the 4th time. This might have been my favorite looks. Unfortunately, my dress is not available on Amazon. My dress is an exclusive Disney collaboration with Macy's. And I'm actually wearing the dress backwards because I had more of a retro look because I had that nice mod look. But at least my accessories are there. So if you guys look in the description bar, I do have links to my Amazon storefront. And every time I do any kind of a like cosplay inspired look, most of my accessories, 90% of my accessories come from Amazon. Very affordable. And if you're vegan and don't want to buy leather goods, everything I purchase is leather free. So it's good for vegans and non-vegans. Right? It does look sick. Hold on, let me go back a little bit. Heck yeah. I may or may not get it. I'm kind of hoping it comes to Amazon. I prefer to get everything through Amazon. It just works for me better because they have like finance options and stuff, but very, very cool. I actually want the record player that was featured in that post on Instagram. So freaking cute. Everybody was like, the record player, the record player. So we are completely done with Fantastic Four, but I wanted to give an honorable mention to Freakier Friday. First of all, if you saw part 1, and I actually did see part 1 a long, long time ago, this movie's like over 20, I think it's like 20, almost 20, 25 years ago. So I rewatched the whole thing. The original came out in 2003. And, I like the original. So I was like, all right, let's see the Freakier Friday. I wasn't going to go, but it was half price on Tuesday. Why not? Dude, first of all, let's talk about the popcorn buckets. You thought Galactus was hard to get? Try to get this one. Now, I am not going to reveal where I got this because I do have one location I refuse to share because anytime things sell out, my freaking secret location has it. So, sorry, not sorry. What I will do though is maybe go to as many AMCs as possible to find where this is, and I'll disclose those. But the good news is the resale value on here is not super high. So this is the popcorn bucket. It's like a Freaky Friday switch, and then now this is the freaking cup. So freaking cute. So if you don't want to be bothered, because I actually had to go to several AMCs to get this, then just get it on eBay. Because I don't mind like paying a little bit extra if something's hard to find. By the time, like I spend so much money in car fare. I think I've gone to the movie theater minimum, I'm going to say 16 times trying to find my friend's Galactic popcorn bucket. And because I was trying to find his stuff, that's how I came across this. But we're talking $3 each time to get to a new location. The only time I might walk is if I go from 34th Street to 42nd. It's not a long walk, but we have a heat wave. So I ain't going to lie. I've taken the train this week. I just couldn't walk. It's too hot. I'm glad Disney finally made a live action movie that is not a remake, right? So what works about this, and that's why I want to give them their love. So I love, so they do have 2 extra characters that they do a switch with, right? So at first I was like, what? but they really focus mainly on Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. And they do such a good job embodying the bodies that they're in. And so I would, especially Jamie Lee Curtis, like I love how, like, I don't know, you could tell she's a different character. She's clearly a good actress. Um, and of course, like the villain in this movie was being a jerk pretty much almost the whole movie. So it was like, so when things, well, I don't want to give it away. Just go watch Freakier Friday. If you belong to the A list, then of course, knock yourself out. It's not gonna cost you any extra money to see it this weekend. If you're on a budget, just go see it on a Monday or Tuesday. I mean Tuesday or Wednesday, half off if you belong to the AMC entry level membership. And I believe Regal, it's discounted on Tuesday if money is an issue, because the money is an issue for all of us, myself included. I didn't mention the price to get this popcorn bucket set. It was kind of pricey. I think I paid $53 to have both. If anybody's wondering why I'm broke, it's these stupid freaking popcorn buckets, but I love them. And it's funny, I was going to sell this because one of my friends wants this. Now I got to find her one. I'm hoping my secret location has it, but I doubt it because they were almost sold out when I went last time. There are a couple of other places in New York where the traffic is low. Usually if something has low foot traffic, that's where you will find merch. That's just a good thing to know. I don't care what state you're in. So 34th Street and 42nd is and even 14th Street, but 14th Street's not AMC. Those are very high traffic areas. Those buckets usually go first. But you're looking for places that are a little bit more secluded, east side, that kind of stuff. They may have the buckets. So I promise if I see these again and it's not in my secret location, then I will disclose where they are. Because the ones that I need to go to next are places I rarely go to because they're out of the way for me. But like I said, just pay the extra money on eBay, if you really want the Freakier Friday stuff. And check out the movie. It was one thing I can say about this movie. You will get such a comedic payoff of Easter eggs of laughter if you watch part one. And so it's funny. I was sitting next to the stranger and there was one part we were all cracking up and the girl next to me wasn't really like laughing. So I said, make sure you watch part one. This part is like, you needed that. And she goes, oh, I saw it. And I'm like, how could you not laugh? It was so freaking funny. But we had a great crowd. Really, really cool. A lot of people came out. And I think it's because of TikTok and, the shorts. Everyone's like, no, go watch the movie. It's actually really good. So shout out to Freakier Friday. And your vote. You guys voted. The next series of watch parties will be Peacemaker. I'm not sure if I'm going to start it Saturday or Sunday. But I'm leaning towards Saturday because I want to do 2 episodes a night. And then for the season finale is Superman, because James Gunn did say that Superman is very much connected to this Peacemaker part 2, season 2. So we'll see. And just a heads up, just in case, you're like, I don't want all these freaking memberships. If you're looking for a savings, then you might want to do the Disney/HBO bundle. I'm not sure how much of a savings it is. Actually it's saying. So you're saving 38% per month by doing the bundles. If budget is an issue, then of course get the ad tier. But just remember, for this channel, we're not going to have too many ad watch parties. You guys don't seem to like it. And I get it. If I have a commercial in New York and you're watching it, like let's say in New Jersey, sometimes the commercials are not in sync. So it's almost impossible to do watch parties with ad tiers, mainly because it's not like live TV. The commercials are exactly the same, no, actually not even. I noticed commercials are different from state to state. The point is, ads don't work in a watch party environment. We tried it. I prefer the ad tier to save money, but not quite working. And so definitely look into that. I heard if you have Verizon, they have a really good deal. I think it's just Disney Plus and HBO Max, but I think they only have an ad tier version. So I don't know if that helps if you may not be able to join the watch parties, or it might be a little bit more challenging for you because I'll be ad free soon. But just stop by. Like usually I do the fun finds and how are you doing and talking to everybody in the beginning. But since this was a review, I wanted to reverse it because just in case I didn't want to like waste your time. You came for a review. That's it. But thank you. I'm sure I'm saying this one. Say Nove for your feedback and just being part of the chat. Also when we do the watch parties for this, I will definitely like I know over the weekend I'm gonna have to do them later and even Monday. But as we're getting closer to the Peacemaker season premiere of season 2, it will be much earlier because I believe it airs at 9:00, which means I need to be here around 8:30, 8:15 if we're doing a watch party in real time, and we don't want the internet messing it up for us. But James Gunn is doing his press tour as always. James Gunn is just like the unexpected star of the whole the DCU universe. He's making himself very accessible to anybody that's interested to talking to him, which is smart because DC is you think Marvel's broken, DC is like almost destroyed. So he has a lot more legwork to do and he has a lot more world building. My only criticism is, a lot of people are so kind of like, not a lot, but some people are like turning their back on the MCU for some of Marvel's failures. Give them grace, y'all. It's 37 freaking movies. You're going to make a mistake. And series, and we've had the pandemic, and we've had a lot going on. So give Marvel grace. They're going to fix it. I have faith in them. I do believe Flash will be part of this too. Ooh, travel Peacemaker to DC, but who knows? I heard there's going to be some really cool appearances for Peacemaker. I honestly not now when it comes to DC, I am really out the freaking loop. The only thing I was familiar with was Superman because I grew up with Superman. A lot of us did, and Batman. I do know Flash from the CW, but I never saw the Flash movie. Don't know who Peacemaker is, but we'll figure this out. And of course, I don't want to do too much research. I kind of want to do it in the perspective of a normie. I want to see if a normal person can pick up on this stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. But I give James Gunn this. He really knows how to entertain people, man. And I think that's why when I had my poll earlier, that for some people, Superman won. But not by a lot. Like no shade from Fantastic Four is great. We're not going to take that away from them. But y'all are so quick to turn. And I get it. We're looking for something new and fresh and this, that, and the third. But like I said, both worlds you can love Marvel and DC. You can do both. It's not that big deal. It's just more to enjoy. And especially now that we're going into the winter, or the fall, there's nothing really going on for Marvel. I did hear there's a new Black Panther animation series. Let me look that up. Black, I think it's called Wakanda series Disney. And I was going to do a watch party, but I just didn't have the time. I just didn't. But that's something that's out, but that's it. So I'm like, you know what? Why not? If you have the money, just do the bundle. Actually, technically, Disney Plus and Hulu's about to be one app. So, get the bundle, enjoy your winter. I know for me, my favorite time to watch shows is in the freaking fall and winter. I really don't go out when it's cold. I'm not a cold person. I hate it. I do give him credit because not a lot of normies would watch superhero shows, but he blew Peacemaker up, which is a miracle. I don't even know who Peacemaker is. I was like, what the heck? I'm still gonna watch. Oh, Eyes of Wakanda. Thank you. It's supposed to canon, canon to the MCU. That's good to know. No promises. Maybe I'll do a watch party for that one. I struggle to doing watch parties with Disney Plus because like I said, I'm in commercial tier, and it's just like I said, doesn't really work. But maybe I just watched it privately. But I heard it was really freaking good, really freaking good. They were like, no, watch it, watch it, watch it. Because I'm not giving up my $3 Disney Plus Hulu package. Not gonna happen. Sorry, y'all. I'm new on the block, so I said I am thinking about having membership tiers. Because this everything about what I do is expensive. Whether it be the StreamYard every year. So it's a couple of factors, and this year I'm the money's just not adding up. It's tough. So I'm really thinking about doing memberships, and maybe in memberships we could do like stuff like Eyes of Wakanda and stuff like that. Because I was just like, Ryan Coogler is a treasure to have for the MCU, and I hope he doesn't go. I think he'll be around for a while. Marvel's biggest issue is they have to get people back in love with Marvel. Plus, DC and Marvel have to contend with more people are streaming from home. They prefer to have their entertainment at home. I think I'll probably be more of a movie theater person because, first of all, I'm here for the merch. I love the IMAX experience. Like once going to a real IMAX screen at Lincoln Square, I'm like, this is a superior experience. The sound is just amazing. And then if you ever go to Lincoln Square, they have their own concession stand. That's how I got one of my tins. That's how I got the Johnny one. I went upstairs because they don't have the same things upstairs and downstairs. And I was just like, and actually several times when I went to that one, they had some Fantastic Four merch. I forgot to share with you guys all the freaking posters I got this year. So if you're not aware, we're having something called the Popcorn Project come to this channel in the fall. It's going to be how to organize all your stuff, how to frame your stuff on a budget. I have a very hoarded apartment. My goal is to declutter it. For this channel, though, the Popcorn Project will be here. If you want to see how crazy my apartment really looks, then make sure you join. Oh God, I forgot the name of my fourth channel. I've been gone for months though. God, what's the name of my fourth channel? This is hilarious. Mirrors of My Mind. I was like, what's the last? That is where, I'll be honest, I was sharing some of my issues I was having personally. I'm having a lot of like grief issues. But when I played back some of my stuff, it was actually making me sadder. So I honestly don't want to like dwell on what I can't change. I want to dwell on healing, and healing is part of decluttering and making space for better things in your life. So 90% I'll be back on Mirrors in My Mind once it gets cooler in here. It's hard to declutter when it's so hot because I refuse to pay for AC. AC in this apartment is $300 to $400 a month. I'm not paying it. I don't even have the money to pay. Hint, I need like memberships. But yeah. Thank you. I'd be honest, I didn't know how these looked on me. I lost my glasses. So I found these, and I thought, well, kind of goes with that 70s, 60 vibe, which is really my favorite aesthetics. But yeah. What's up? Danny, I don't know if you want to come here and share your review on this channel. Actually, if both of y'all welcome, I can send a link in the chat, but oh. So this poster I got from the IMAX, it was a special IMAX showing to get this poster. I'm so blessed. I had an extra one because I was trying to like roll it up, and rolling it up, I messed it up. And so I said, oh, can I get another one? And she goes, yeah, sure. And then I end up giving the extra one to my friend for their birthday. They're a comic head as well. Now I'm probably going to sell this, but for now, hold on to it. I got some cool. This came from the Regal. There was one day I was watching F1. It was like on a Wednesday. So Regal doesn't have discounts on the Wednesday. So it's kind of empty. So there was like, it was like having a theater to yourself. They had so many posters. So I got this one and I got this one. This is all in one day. And I got this one. I might sell it though, because I was like, well, if it's not going to work for my movie project, I'm selling it. Then I got Superman at the Regal. I think I was like, while I was watching Fantastic Four, Regal at 42nd Street. I'm telling you right now, if y'all want posters, go to the freaking Regal. I also saw Naked Gun, and look, they had Naked Gun posters. So cool. This is definitely going to be part of the Popcorn Project. And Wicked had a limited print. This was at 34th Street and 8th Avenue. This was what my latest visit got me. And, oh, I have it upside down. That's what I got there. So, and if you're wondering, here, and then I got one of them framed up, super, super cheap. That will be all part of the Amazon storefront. Again, it's a great way to help support this channel so I can keep the lights on. It costs you nothing. If you're going to order something to organize your space, say, oh, let me go to Gadget's storefront. Because, yeah, the money is low. This has been a very, very, very tough year. Thank you. Oh, man. That sucks. That sucks. I wonder if what's the name of I wonder if Marvel is going to take a page from from DC, because they released Superman now already. It's not even been 2 months. I wonder if they're going to do an early release. And it's funny, I just paid for Thunderbolts, and now Thunderbolts is going to be on Disney Plus in 2 weeks. I was just like, I mean, I didn't pay for it per se. I had like Amazon credit, but still, I would have liked to use it for something else. I need to, for the Popcorn Project, there was a couple of things I had to order to organize a couple of things. Like I had to find a way to display my Freaky Friday popcorn bucket. Because I have a new rule. If I can't find a proper space for you, you're being sold on eBay. Because I can't take it. It's so cluttered in here right now. Like there's a couple of spaces where it's really, really clean and organized, but overall it's a hot mess. No, it's not doing as well as it should. Considering Marvel's fan base is superior compared to DC, I think the only other fan base that could rival Marvel's fan base is Star Wars. Because Star Wars, even if they don't have the numbers, Star Wars fans will see it as many times as they could just to get those numbers up. That's the only other fan base. I was like, bro, you might get a 1 billion mark on a Star Wars movie. So I'm like, that fan base is, when it comes to Star Wars, that's one fan group. Don't mess with them. They mobilize. They get things done. They don't play. So when we checked the numbers today, I believe it was a little bit over 400 million. I think it was 414 million, 0.4, something like that. Superman's already at 500,000 already. Now, granted, he came out 2 weeks earlier, but for the most part, now that it's available on digital, I'm sure the Superman numbers are going to drop. Even though I heard, I'm not sure if it's true, but I think Superman is coming back to IMAX. So I'm probably not going to go because I spent a lot of money on movies this year. I need to just chill out. I heard a few reviewers say the hardcore MCU fans came out opening weekend, and that's why they had that drop. That drop off was disgusting. It was a 66 or 67% drop off the following week. And then I think the following week, it dropped another 59%. That's for Marvel, that's crazy. Not in a good way. So listen, if I was Marvel, I would check every single review out. I'm sure there is a reviewer that pinpoints some of the problems. Even though I pinpoint my issue, you know, with the villain, the villain should have won. Point blank period. There might be other issues. But it's a good movie. You know, I give it a 4 out of a 5. I really enjoyed it. And like I said, my whole fashion aesthetic changed because I really enjoyed the world building. I just loved costumes and set design. Everything just worked. But I think your villain should have been a lot more powerful considering it's freaking Galactus. Like, make this make sense. I'm glad DCU is giving the MCU competition, though, because MCU will finally bounce back. Exactly. I think MCU's biggest issue or their kryptonite is they got comfortable. Because I mean, that's why I was like, you know, give Marvel their grace. They've had a phenomenal run for many, many years, and they've been doing this since 2008, which is a good run. And then we didn't see cracks until you said the Thor movie. And then, you know, kept going. And I think some people, you know, like most of my friends are married with kids. So yeah, when we started in our younger years, I was actually in college when the MCU formed. You know, people's lives change. I'm lucky. I'm not married. I don't have kids. So I could be like, let me go to the theater. If you have a whole family, to bring a family of 4, God forbid they want these overpriced popcorn buckets or just popcorn in general, this adds up quick. I know they're having a special, I believe, on the 22nd for Regal and AMC, like a date night, like buy one, get one free candy and kind of stuff. But I was just like, if you have children or children in your life, there's no way your family could afford the whole experience. They're probably going to do this stuff from their home. So maybe, you know, DC's like, you know what? We got the money we needed to break even or even make a little bit profit. We know our new core customer is streaming from home. Let's release it early. I hope it's a good decision. I don't know. Who knows? Oh yeah. Heck yeah. I think Spider-Man will be pretty well. Dude, Danny, listen, as soon as I get to my goal, wait, I'm getting my Spidey outfit. I'm getting my Spidey. This is a tradition in New York. When anything Spider-Man comes out, a bunch of people dress like Spider-Man and they all meet up. I want to be part of the freaking insanity. I think the last 2 Spider-Mans made $1 billion far home. Yeah, heck yeah. Spider-Man's like Superman. Most of us fell in love with Spider-Man, Superman, and Batman when we were children. So those are the strongest freaking superheroes, in my opinion, hands down. Because I was like, I didn't really like nothing else. I didn't know what Iron Man was. I sure as hell didn't care for Fantastic Four. So I was like, yeah, I knew they exist. I didn't care. But those are our children. That's our childhood. Are those 3 freaking IPs? Heck yeah! I do have a Gwen hoodie, but I said, bro, if I can do a full suit, like I clearly I can't walk out like that because some of my neighbors already think I'm weird. This is where I draw the line. But I could like put on a sweatsuit. I could put a Spider-Man sweatsuit on top and then make sure my mask is off. And then when I get there, I'll be like, oh. Now, if I can get my body right, because I'm much older now, then I'll probably do like a Spider-Man hoodie thing. And then like once I get there, have the mask on. Because I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little self-conscious about my body. But we'll figure it out. I need to like get we have almost a year to get in shape for Spider-Man. I'm so excited about this. I even have a Spider-Man dress as of now. Spider-Man book bag. I love Spider-Man. I love, like, in the living room we have, I have Miles mask up, and then I have Spider-Man figures. I know in the living room you're going to see some Spider-Man stuff added very, very soon. So thank you. It's just harder when you're older. You're Gen X with me. It is harder. Um, Plus, unfortunately, I'm having some health issues. So it's just like, but I'm very resilient. I'm almost 25 pounds smaller than what I was last year. And I'm sure next year the rest of the weight will come off, because I don't want to diet, So I'm like, no, I'll get off when I get off. Like I have faith in the system of lifestyle changes, because that's like, it's not a diet. It's, I still eat whatever I want. I'm just smarter how I go about it. So we'll see. With great power comes great responsibility. Yes. And after that comes great cosplay. Yes. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. Yo, Dan, you had me cracking up when I fell asleep in the last watch party. Yo, dude, I was on the floor. I was like, I did see it twice though. I did see Thunderbolts twice. I paid $27 for it. Want to watch it. Yeah, Thunderbolts for me definitely had something, an edge over Fantastic Four. And again, I can't quite put it in it. It might have been a good balance of comedy / groundedness. That's it. That's what it has. It's grounded, but it had good comic beats, or better comic beats. That's what Thunderbolts has over Fantastic Four. It took me 1 hour and 21 minutes to get there, but I finally got there. I was like, what is my issue with this movie? The void, yes, I was weak. And it's funny, I kind of felt tired, so I knew it was coming, but I was like, bro. And then when I rewatched it, I said, oh my God, Trisha, you were asleep for a minute. Oh God, my dream, if I had a dream job, it would be to do YouTube. And since I have 4 channels, I would never get bored. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. No, actually, a dream job is to be I'd rather be a healer and teach people how to heal their body with food and herbs. That would be a dream career. And then YouTube would be second. But I would still share with people on YouTube what I'm doing in real life. Actually, I'm going through something really, really, really critical now. And I really, really, really want to learn how to heal with food. Like, not me personally. I mean, like for someone else, but it's crazy. Thunderbolts suck with me after give it a thought. I'm done. But some people, Thunderbolts is another one. People either love it or hate it. I don't even think there's an in between with that one. Yeah, it had a lot of heart. The whole friendship thing. It worked for me. But if it didn't work for you, it's all good. It's a safe space here. You don't have to agree with me. I'm fine with that. That's one thing I don't like about YouTube. Like, people are not good with other people's opinions, and I'm like, nah. If you don't like it, if you hate it, that's fine. Like, it's not for everybody. But I think that's it. I can't believe I was like, oh, this should be short. It's a review. Not with chatty Trish in the room. You're really good with talking about movies as well. I could see you as the next John. No, don't play. That's such a compliment. I don't know if I'll ever get there. John Campea, I found him by accident. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely don't agree with him on a lot of things, but that's why I like his. But I like his takes. Does that make any sense? There's one movie that I love that he absolutely hates, and I just be like, really, John? But it is what it is. But you're funny but less whiny. Hello. Were you around when John Campea had the rant with AMC over the freaking commercials? Let me tell you something. I'm not gonna lie, the commercials are a bit much, but I usually go to the movies after work. Not once, but 3 times I got to the movie theater 30 minutes late. And all 3 times I missed 0% of the movies because AMC got like 30 minutes of freaking trailers. And so I was like, thank God. I know actually Regal had a lot of commercials too. F1, I was 30 minutes late. Freakier Friday, and Freakier Friday, I was so annoyed. I had my cute little outfit on, and then right as I was walking out the door, a client came. Now, granted, I made $400, in sales, but it took a minute. It took a minute. So I was with these clients for about 25 minutes. No, something like that. No, 20 minutes, whatever. So then I had to like hop on public transportation and get to this location. And so I get there. To be honest, I did have a little meltdown because they didn't have the Freakier Friday popcorn buckets, but at least I found my friend a gift. So I didn't order any food because if you order the food, you're definitely going to miss the movie. Because I get the little vegan chicken nuggets, no food, just get inside. I ate food after. There's a Taco Bell right up the freaking block. Cost me like $3. Just go to Taco Bell. But the point is, them freaking trailers saved my behind 3 times. The third time, I forgot what movie I was watching. I think it was A Naked Gun. And I'm like, it's not my fault because I work in retail. So you be ready to walk out. The customers feel your happiness. They'll be like, oh, can you help me? And I'm like, no, bro. And since retail is not doing well, like the movie theater business, you want to make the most money possible because a third party is paying me extra money to make sure they get the maximum money. Because if you ever go to any store, it's very understaffed. So my job is to fix cases, let the company know what's missing. And when you're done, you do sales, right? So of course, usually at the end of the day, I'm not, doing sales, bro. So the point is, those commercials help. So I don't know. No, they are much longer. And I'm not going to lie. Sometimes they get on my freaking nerves. But if you have a job like mine, it works. And plus, I don't mind usually doing the trailers. Like if you're at Regal doing 4DX, the trailers are great to eat your food. Because once the movie starts, oh my God, you're like this. If you're doing 4DX, this is your time to eat. Is during those commercials. It'll be like, okay, the seats are not. Well, actually, sometimes the seats start moving because some of the commercials have the enhancements. But the point is, you want to make sure you're eating in the first 20, 30 minutes of a 4DX, or you're never going to be able to eat again without soda being over the floor and your food. As for a regular movie, I'm getting settled in. I'm checking my emails and stuff, because, unfortunately, I'm a supervisor, so my life is always busy, making sure my staff is good, We're done. So I don't know. I do get everyone's issue with the commercials. It is a bit much. But for the record, if you're like me and you buy from the concession, you want your food, I go to concession because listen, those vegan chicken nuggets are freaking life. And I purchased those nuggets in the stores because they're in the store too. But AMC is the way they fry it. It's life. Like I don't do stuff like that all the time. Like for example, if I do vegan nuggets this week, I won't do it the following week. Maybe I'll sneak in a salad. I try to balance like my junk food consumption, but but if I do a movie once a month, 100% I'm going to go get my vegan nuggets. Regal, unfortunately, they don't have it, but they have a good vegan pretzel. Their popcorn's all right. Regal, you need to fix your popcorn, bro. It's all right. Cameras hate Zack Snyder, but Man of Steel, but loves Man of Steel. Thunderbolts was around top 15 or 20 in the MCU movie, which isn't bad at all. It's a good movie, but I think a lot of people just didn't like quite relate to that darkness. Like basically, I think the protagonist was depression, void, which is a real thing, people. That's all I'm going to say. Like the one I remember, I have to have a Debbie Downer moment, but I'm keeping it real. I remember when my mom passed away. It was actually my brother first, my boyfriend, then my mom. They all died months apart from each other. I can't even put into words how depressed and suicidal I got, especially once my boyfriend died. And so I think the only thing that saved me was my sister and my mom. And then once my mom died, I was just like, are you kidding me? But the point is, I had a support system. I had people like, yo, we got you, sis. Because I remember I called my mom and I said the unthinkable because I was like, yo, I just don't want to be here anymore. So like someone needs to help me snap out of it. So going back to the Thunderbolts, when you see that level of darkness, Johnny Walker, what's the girl who jumped off the building? The main character, her, uh the actual void, and not the void, I'm forgetting all the characters. The point is though, it's relatable if you've ever been in a dark place. So I remember what helped me snap out of it. So unfortunately, when my mom died, I didn't have the support system that I had, but I had a girl. Her name is MJ Fangirl. She's a big YouTuber. She was just helping me like get back on track with YouTube, and then I was pouring myself into like YouTube, and because I love creating stuff. And it also helps to be around positive people and people to help pull you out. When I saw like this whole thing with Thunderbolts, I'm like, yeah, nothing's gonna stop us. Like we all need a support team. We need, even if it's one or two people, like that's why I go to church. Churches are real good places to like connect with humans. Because I mean, for most of my friends, my energy's too heavy. I'm the only person who's gone through so much stuff. And I'm still young. So it's just, I guess God put me on the list to go through tough stuff first. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not mad. It makes you who you are, but you really can't talk to nobody when it's just you. So even though MJ Fangirl can't quite relate to what I've gone through, at least she helped pull me out of a darkness because she's a really positive person. She's an ambitious person, and she was helping me reformat all my channels. It was awesome. You just got to say, oh, thank you. You're so good with the characters. Yes, Bob. Yes, Century. That stuff is real. That darkness is real. And I think that's why I find it so important to be in tune with God, Bible, good people. If you got negative people in your life, even as family, bro, you got to kind of like cut them off or put them in like as distant as possible because they'll be your downfall. Yeah, the first MCU movie that really made Depression the actual villain of the movie. I think that's why it connects with the audience that it did. Yes. Like if we look back, even if we look at Anakin Skywalker, right? What makes the prequels to me a great series? Because some people don't like them daggone prequels. I love them. It humanized freaking Darth Vader. It made you realize his motives, like how like he didn't wake up evil. Palpatine and his dumb behind was manipulating with his ego and stuff. And of course, he didn't want to lose, his wife. And so because of that, it leads to a series of bad decisions, which leads to freaking Darth Vader being Darth Vader. I think I know for a fact there are some people that come on this earth, they are evil as hell. I actually know one very well. Like, I'm like, I seen you grow up to be evil. It's just where you came out your mom's vagina, evil. It is what it is. Those are the Palpatines of the world. And then there's other people that are manipulated, or life gets in the way, whether it's death or like a strand of bad luck or bad decisions like Ironheart that leads the person to becoming the bad guy, right? But those are the people that are more likely able to come back on the other side of goodness. I mean, I don't know if the people that are born evil can be redeemed, but I can talk about it's like it's rare you meet evil people, but when you meet them, you're like, damn, yo, you were born this way. But I say all that, if there was anything good in your life and you can just find the right people in your life, they could help pull you out of the darkness. And that's what Thunderbolts was for me. And I think that's what Fantastic Four is missing, that thing. Like, even though family is supposed to be that thing, they're missing that thing. If you try to understand where I'm going. But yeah. Even the MCU in phase 3 got me through work days because the characters were flawed, but I still tried to do the right thing, even if things were dysfunctional. Yeah. Yeah, they brought back this the Starship song. That's a classic though. Nothing's gonna stop us now. That's true. He engineered the death of Palpatine and knew he would manipulate Anakin in his weakened state. But that's how life really freaking is, right? So, so in human terms, what are the Palpatines, not Palpatines, but what are the circumstances in our lives that might cause us to go into depression, alcoholism? I remember when my dad died, I became a huge pothead. I could not deal with my dad's death at all, sober at all. So those are the things that lead you to make bad decisions or feel suicidal. Da, 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 da. What you need those anchors. You need your team of people or that one or two people that say, I love you, I care for you, and I want to help you fight through this. And you have your good days and your bad days. For me, my God, when I lost everybody, I had my bad years. So I'm finally snapping out of the depression when I woke up and saw how bad my apartment is. And my family tried to help me, like my brother's wife and stuff. She's really good at cleaning and stuff. Like they would come over, they would try to help. I was just like, no, leave my stuff alone. Leave me alone. Let me just go through this. But now that I'm on like the side of healing, I ain't gonna lie, this place is a hot mess. We gotta fix it. And that's where that fourth channel comes in. It's really cluttered in here because I just kept buying stuff, trying to fill a void of emptiness. And then like one day I'm like, there's just no more space for this. So even when I buy popcorn buckets, the first test I do is to make sure, is there a space for it? If it's not, I have a special bag just for eBay. Let's say I have 20 buckets, I think at least 7 are being sold because we just can't find a spot for it. It is what it is. The family member I watched I watched them act like MCU. We saw after No Way Home act like nothing happened, but Thunderbolts had them in tears. Yeah. Fantastic Four had the tone of dread with the impacting coming from Galactus. True. Usually the Fantastic Four team is lighthearted and jokey. This one wasn't quite that. I think if it had just a little bit more comedic beats, just a little bit more, because we want to keep it grounded. We want to respect what they're trying to establish here, because we know what's coming up in the future. And just had Galactus. If Galactus lost, it still should have been a lot of consequences for beating him. You just had like a little city block messed up. Come on, man. Come on. You could have did better. I would have liked if they had Man of Steel level destruction. Man of Steel, you'd be like, damn, bro. Who's gonna fix this? Even in Thunderbolt, because that's actually like where I am a lot. That area, that's Grand Central. I was like, damn, bro, damn, the money to fix this. You want to feel like because this villain's here, look at all the destruction that was caused. Look at all the problems that happened. It was wrapped up in a bowl. It was too neat for me. If the runtime of Fantastic Four increased to tell more about Galactus and the Four history, it would have been the best movie for real. They were good and it had potential. Like for me, I struggle on picking my favorite movie for this summer. I would say the movie that had the most impact on me in terms of personal change and influence is Fantastic Four, because I really love the world building they did. So like I said, in that way, yes. But Superman does have that hope, happiness, kindness thing going for itself. And Superman had a phenomenal cast. Our main characters is basically 4 people. I'll count 5 if we count Herbie. Superman had like just a little bit more going for itself. You know, you had Lex Luthor, you had Superman, you had Lois Lane, you had Mr. Terrific, you had Hawk Girl, you just had more. What's the guy with the A? Anyway, they just have a little bit more going for themselves, and their characters actually had more time to shine. Granted, the focus is Fantastic Four. I get it, and we'll count the Surfer too. Her being, I don't know, just something's missing. I can't. I'm gonna be like annoyed forever about this. Basically, Age of Ultron is like Fantastic Four, kind of, except slightly better. Okay, I agree. You were right. You should have been way more damage. Hell yeah. Now, granted, we know like Fantastic Four was underground with the mole guy, right? The mole villain. It's not the villain anymore. Whatever his name, Mr. Mole, whatever. That's cool. No, you don't need a bunch of bodies dead, but just maybe. Or if you really want to be that villain, he's Galactus. Why don't you find a way to dig? You could see them underground. You get them. Let them know, don't mess with me. Give me Franklin or pay the consequences. You know, I don't know. Imagine if we had a backstory scene of the fear of the people in the world that Galactus had eaten. Child. Well, I remember when they first went to meet Galactus and have a conversation with them, Sue and them was like, what's that? Because you see all these red, infrared, I guess, pieces of the planet. Once they realized it was chunks of the planet and the people were screaming for their freaking lives. Now that part was epic. Again, if you don't want to destroy Earth 828, I get it. But you should have messed them up. Like if Galactus was he is a badass. Somehow get into that lower part and grab a thing of people and eat them. Like do something to make you go, yo, this guy is an issue. We I don't know. Yes, Mrs. Terrific, Hawk Girl, Guy Garden, and Meadow. I know I'm gonna say that wrong, so I'm not gonna do it to myself. Yeah, James Gunn did a phenomenal job of casting, but I feel like DC knew, or James knew, if this does not resonate with people, we all will be unemployed, and you felt that from the whole entire team of that movie. Like you could tell they were fighting for their freaking lives. And I think that's the difference. I think Marvel unintentionally has a cockiness or level of comfortability that is messing their brand up. Now that DC's in the picture, and again, we're not gonna like get super excited over one movie, but you should be. They are a threat. They beat you in numbers, bro. They beat you in numbers. I never thought I would see the DC beat Marvel in numbers. Now, can Fantastic Four make some money between now and the end of the summer? Sure. Is it more likely to happen? Probably not. Those numbers should have been established the first 3 weeks, and it's just not happening. And they're having epically huge drops every freaking week. And then to make it worse, it's not a lot of competition out there. What do we got? Freakier Friday? Like there's not a lot of competition out there. Fantastic Four should have had better numbers. Nothing's really going on right now. I can't accept Pedro Pascal as Reed, as he is completely disturbed all the time in the Pedro feelings. It was my fault you guys changed to this mutation. Pedro trying to listen. I don't have an issue with Pedro, but let's get messy. There's a rumor, and I think it's kind of true, but we'll wait till it's official, that Pedro may not be coming back. There's something allegedly going on behind the scenes. Allegedly. Now, I will say this. I never thought I would say this. A lot of the characters kind of outdid Pedro. I'll give Pedro his props. He acted the role well, but you could tell something was holding him back. I'm not sure what that was. And somehow Johnny became the star in my eye. And I mean, Sue did her thing too, Mama Bear. A lot of people like Ben. There's a poll on my channel. A lot of people like Ben. But for me, it's Johnny. Johnny became my favorite. But Pedro Pascal is the reason why I watched it. And I think that's why he was cast. Because I think they knew no one cares about the Fantastic Four because of the 2 movies or the 2 reboots before it. So I guess they said, oh, just like when they did the reboot, I don't know why. Actually, the reboot made no sense in terms of casting at all. Wow, that anyway, the 2015 was epic fail to me. I actually like the first one the one from 2005 way better cast wise. But the point is, I think they probably just used it to get money, people in the seats. It kind of worked, but then for you guys who know the lore, it didn't work. So it was really challenging in that way. Dare I say, he was more worse than the cloud. Shut up! You guys are so mean. No, Pedro, I love you. Oh God, how you guys compare him to the purple cloud? I'm weak. Ouch! My heart hurt for Pedro. I really thought Fantastic Four would have ended with Galactus destroying. Yes, I think we all did, Dan. And the Fantastic Four coming to Earth 616, because that would have been logical on the ship at the end of Thunderbolts. I don't know what that was about. I think we were all on the same page with that. We're like, oh yeah, they must have destroyed it. They're in the ship. No. More likely they're going to. I mean, I'm assuming Dr. Doom is going to take their son. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Vanessa Kirby showed out as well. Heck yeah, yes she did. Johnny's the winner in my opinion. Johnny really killed it. Except Johnny was the best. Hell yeah. Joseph Quinn looks like a young RG did. Robert Downey Jr. I agree. Oh no, I was saying Galactus was first step. Wait. Oh no, I was saying Galactus from first step was the worst of the cloud. Oh, I got scared. I was like, damn. I thought you were like saying Pedro was equivalent to the cloud. I was like, damn. Why they're saying Vanessa is bad? She is better than the old one, stubborn and standing in the good. Yeah, I think Sue is the best Sue we've ever had, hands down. I was like, it was well cast, but I must admit though, because I've seen a lot of reviews trying to figure out why I can't get my thoughts out. By the way, no one's reviews help me, but Pedro Pascal honestly did not get the love compared to his co-stars. Like my gut's telling me that Johnny's going to be a bigger focus the next one. It just worked. In my opinion, he was the breakout star of the group. But like I said, in the poll that I've had on my page, they were saying it was Ben. So we'll see. Why they're saying Vanessa's bad, standing good. You know what I find interesting about the whole dynamic with Sue and Reed? They had a decent chemistry in the movie. Like I like the part where Reed, I believe Galactus I think he attacked Sue or something, and then freaking Reed went straight after Galactus. It was the scene right before he got pulled apart, right? And so you see that dynamic of, yo, that's my wife. What are you doing? And then you see that love for the mother to the child when he tried to get her son. So you see that dynamic of the power of family, right? But here's the weird part. Their chemistry during that tour was insane. I didn't know that she was in a relationship. So I'm thinking her and Pedro are like in a relationship, like that's possibly his freaking kid. I come to find out she in a whole relationship. She's engaged to someone else and she having a baby. So I was like, I kind of wish they had that chemistry more on camera. Like, I mean, I'm hoping they're not doing nothing on camera. If they are, it's none of my business. Could be an open relationship. Who knows? Who cares? But the point is, that chemistry during that tour was epic, bro. Epic. And I'm like, if y'all kind of put that in the movie a little bit more, that would have been maybe the extra sauce we needed here. Because, and it even felt like she was holding back. It was that movie, something was being held back. It was weird. And I think that's where we missed that mark, bro. Vanessa was like the second best to Joseph Quinn. I would say that Pedro and Vanessa was something going on, but yeah, who cares? Honestly, I don't care, especially with Hollywood or even in New York. What's the word that we use here in New York? People are very fluid here, and I'm sure Hollywood is just as bad. So I'm not judging, I'm more of an old fashioned person. I believe on one thing, da da da. But New Yorkers like open marriages, open this, open that. Like I said, I don't care, that's their business. But what I'm saying, that my whole point of saying all that was, hey, that chemistry would have been epic in the movie. Yeah, we needed that off-screen chemistry on screen. Yes. Like, I promise you I had no idea she was in a relationship, but the internet's being messy as always. So I was like, wait, she in a whole relationship? I was like, I thought Pedro wasn't. Anyway, we'll leave that alone. Pedro always closes his eyes on screen to act. Makes me forget the guys on screen. Well, I definitely, what I would love to do, since I'm such a Pedro freaking fan, because I am, but I'm not a super fan, just a fan, because of The Mandalorian. I would love, maybe that could be, if I ever do, not if, I definitely will do memberships. I'll make it really, really affordable. I know we're all struggling, but maybe we could do a Pedro Pascal like movie series. And I also want to do a James Gunn movie series, because I'm like, unfortunately, I don't have time to do everything I want to do, but I definitely want to look at more of Pedro's work. I even want to see The Last of Us. I want to just see like his acting chops, because in The Mandalorian, we barely see him. He's in a freaking mask the whole freaking time. This is my first time really getting to see Pedro act, so okay, but we barely get to see him in The Mandalorian. I don't know if that's shade. I'm like, I say he's not really. I know in season 2, I think we got to see him. I mean, I love him in The Mandalorian though. It's like, but I don't have, like, some people like have like good comparisons. I'm like, I don't know. I did hear that if I had joined the AMC A list, I would have saw everything. But even the $8 to $10 per movie, it's starting to add up. And I'm like, plus popcorn buckets. I think I did $300 in popcorn buckets and merch. And then maybe a little under 100 into tickets. Because I did like 4DX experiences. I also did a couple of IMAXs. But it's the special events that cost a little bit more money. So I'm like, nah, we're good. I need to like start spending money. Oh, I did see this one. So I saw this as an unseen for like $8 during AMC. It was okay. I didn't see part 1. It was all right. I mean, I didn't hate it, but it's not like I'm like, oh, honorable mention like I did for Freakier Friday. And I would watch it, but just stream it at this point. Um, But yeah, it's definitely been a good summer. It's the first time I've ever done so many movies in the summer. It's mainly because I just couldn't afford to go on vacation this year. And it was a fun summer. It was a fun summer, and I hope more people go out to the movies. I the inevitable is happening. Just like I work in retail, there's certain things that you can just tell 5-10 years from now it won't be the same. But I hope there'll always be some type of movie houses, uh, even if it's not as many, but you kind of see where it's going. It's kind of scary. Pedro got thin in Fantastic Four. We used to see him with the full body. He looks like, I'm tired of this dieting shit. Just get me out of this and let me wrap up so I can eat. You know what's interesting? I wonder if the rumors are true that we may have a recasting of Mr. Fantastic, and it's interesting. My opinion, they use Pedro as a headliner to get people to see Fantastic Four, but it didn't go as well as they probably anticipated. And more likely, if Pedro's having issues with Disney behind the scenes, there might be a recast. We'll see. I mean, I don't want Pedro to leave, especially with all the money I spent in the merch. I spent a lot. I got the Pedro cereal, the popcorn bucket, this, the pizza box. I got a couple of things, mainly because of Pedro, but it's not about him. It's, you know, who knows? I had a lot of fun watching a movie every week this summer. Oh, a lot of good ones this season compared to the last few years. For me, this is the first time I wanted to see movies for real. There's even more stuff I want to see. I just don't have any more money. Next year, though, I will have the AMC list if they still have the AM list program. If you guys are not familiar, it's like $29 a month. You can see 4 movies a week, including IMAX and premium screens. The only thing is, if it's a fan event, that's not included, but it's still a good deal. Because if I could have saw Freaky Year Friday again. There's so many things I wanted to see, and I'm like, I want to see Jurassic Park. It is what it is. Pedro is cool, but I'm surprised he got a 50-year-old to play True. I thought they would have went for a younger cast. I think it's a cash grab. I think he got casted because he's a hot kid on the block. He does get people to go to the theaters. But I'm afraid though he's gotten a little bit overexposed. Like people were making jokes on TikTok of how like literally there was one week Pedro was on every freaking poster. It was like crazy. So if I was Pedro and Pedro's management, be a little bit more selective because overexposure becomes jokes real quick around here. I mean, I don't care, but you know what I'm saying. What if John is Earth 616? Reed is Richard, who plays Mr. Fantastic in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Huh. I think that's a good theory. Who knows? Do you guys have any idea how any of this stuff is going to flesh out? Because we all thought the planet got messed up when we saw the ship. Like, what just happened? I joined this special A list here for $15. That's the one I have. No, 15 a month. No, actually, I think 15 a year. That's one movie ticket a week. That's still a good deal. I end up going more than once a week, several times. Dang. I think me and you, Danny, we have to upgrade next year because we know what's coming next year. I won't join though until I think for me, things get good around April. So I'll probably join in April. Like the whole winter, I'm probably chilling in. I will be in March parties with y'all. I'm not going nowhere. I was like, I can't say I hate doing things in the winter, but I borderline hate doing things in the winter. And so, New York is freakishly cold too. It's not as bad as Chicago, but nah, bro, not I. That's when having movies indoors, it works for me. It's rare I do a movie in the winter. Because one, you can't cosplay. 2, it's cold as hell. I'm like, no, I'll probably join around April. Hopefully Michael Jackson will kick off, that whole A listing for me. Because I'm like, $30 when you're on a budget still is a lot. So, but like I said, all the money I spent, I should have just upgraded. I thought they would reboot Pedro in Secret War, but nah, he's too big. Well, it's interesting when the numbers first came out, because first they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. Everybody was like, Pedro's going to be the face of Phase 6. He's going to be the leader. He's going to be that. Then it switched to no, he's no longer the face. Then, and I wish I had made notes where I saw all this stuff. Then one girl said that Marvel changed everything without Pedro knowing, and now Pedro's in his feelings, and now he might be leaving, not even Marvel, like Disney in general, allegedly. And then somebody was like, well, Johnny's the breakout star. We'll focus more on Johnny. And there's a chance that they'll just recast Mr. The stretchy guy, whatever, Pedro. So I'm like, right now, every solitary thing is rumors. I'm going to make this very, 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 very clear. But if you Google anything I'm saying, it's out there. So I'm like, I'm not sure. I miss Star Wars having a movie in December. That would be a great way to end the year. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I actually miss Star Wars. Let's go back to April/May for those who were on a high of Andor. And then for a little while, we were all Andored up. I used to watch Andor every freaking day, even after I saw it. I saw this series 4 times with 24 freaking episodes, for like the whole series, the 2 series. So I was loving Star Wars, and honestly, I like Star Wars probably more than anything. But I ain't gonna lie, it's been a good superhero year. I mean, summer. We've had Superman and Fantastic Four crush it. So I'm enjoying like having comic books celebrated. Me being interested in buying comics, me wanting to learn about Fantastic Four, I want to learn about Superman now. Actually, right next to me, I framed it, but of course, I'm probably just going to get a digital one. I got the Supergirl, a comic book, because the next movie's based on this. I want to read comics, and I think both Marvel and DC got people curious in that way. Like I've been trying to get the first Fantastic Four comic book, and it keeps going up in price. So I just got the Kindle for like $2. I never thought I would buy comics. And I think in that way, both franchise won. Because people are like, well, who the Fantastic Four? Well, a lot of people are really not familiar with DC because DC has been really not doing well overall. I think Mr. Fantastic will just be a key player in Doomsday, but Spider-Man will be the main focus. I agree. I think I had a conversation very recently that DC's number one issue is, Marvel's number one issue is when you finished Endgame, you got rid of freaking Iron Man and Chris Evans, Captain America. Are you dumb? You have no anchors. Then, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, you made Anthony Mackie the new Captain America, but we didn't ask for Anthony Mackie to be the new anchor. Now, I personally think he did his thing in Brave New World, but a lot of people are like, nope, he's not the anchor. He's not going to be the leader. And if I had to go by numbers and just overall discourse about Anthony Mackie, he's not going to be the anchor. And I think they were hoping that he would have that same it factor that Chapman had with Black Panther. It didn't quite work. And in general, to make it clear, it's not personal. We just don't have a good anchor in general at all, period. Spider-Man, I think, is a good choice. I think that's a good anchor, a good leader. It's just, I think even the guy at Doctor Strange would have been a better choice than Anthony Mackie. I felt like Anthony Mackie showed up one movie too late. Like he showed up for his own movie, but I feel like he should have been like those people in freaking Superman, where you could tell each star knew what was at stake, and they could make a show on almost everybody from that whole entire Superman movie. Everyone showed up and showed out. Even for Thunderbolts, I felt like there were characters in there that stood out in a way like, I'm invested in you. I want you to be shown more. Anthony showed up one movie too late. Like he was always in the background in the previous movies. How you go from the background, you get a little like focus in Ant-Man, and then now you're Captain America? It's in the comic books, but it's not about that. It's about, did you earn that spot? Did you win us over? Johnny being the good example. They hired Pedro to be the star, but Johnny's freaking took over. That if you want to be the face of something, you got to earn it with the public. And I just felt like they still don't have that freaking anchor. And I think Spider-Man would be a great candidate because I love Tom Holland's freaking Spider-Man. Like, love. Here is a big conspiracy. Marvel wanted to bring Doom to Marvel before Jonathan Majors, I did hear that, was arrested, and then they got and they gave money to his girlfriend to make the case in court. Now that's a hot take, but it sounds believable. 4X is really good, Trish. It definitely needs, yeah. It definitely needs to check out Andor. Andor's amazing. Andor is a slow burn. Some of you guys will like my cousin. I have a cousin, a Star Wars cousin, and she's like, Trisha, this is so boring. And I'm like, please trust me, just watch it. It's really good. It's just a very slow burn, though. You're like, damn. Now they will do it with Pedro, make Vanessa or some girl. No. Yes, I got my comic. I'm all in. Because I was like, if I had to be honest, Superman was my first love. And somewhere Batman and Spider-Man. That's all I remember is my childhood being those three things, and I liked it on purpose. Brave New World just didn't resonate with the audience. I accept that and receive that. It was too much going on, and it wasn't realistic that a non-serum human was going against the Red Hulk. It's kind of like the whole galactic thing. It's like, wait, what? This is all that happened? Was this just a little bit of destruction against the Red Hulk? Non-serum? I felt like that's one character. If you're going to keep Mackie non-serum up, then Mackie should have been close to his death. Like literally close to his death. As a matter of fact, it could have looked like he died. And then the next movie, we get to find out, will Mackie ever walk again? Like, how the hell is a non-serum super soldier fighting the Red Hulk? Is mind-blowing. Then you had the issue. I mean, thank God they didn't do that. All my life I had to fight, struggle of a minority. It's relevant in real life, but I was saying we really don't want to go too deep into those kind of narratives, because then women can have that argument, and then Latin people can have that argument. In other words, like, no, let's not do that. Like, let's just focus on the good guys, the bad guys, what drives us. I don't know. I don't need every aspect of my freaking life to be in my fictional world. Just saying. I honestly thought old man Steve Rogers would return as Captain. Tony Stark would return. Yes, I know. It's in the Iron Man suit. It doesn't hurt what happened in Endgame, but they still return. Well, according to my friends, my geeky friends, they were like, we do see old man Steve again. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, if you're going to be creative, Marvel, you should have been creative and having Galactic mess up Earth 828 really bad if you're not going to eat it, I'm going to be honest. Falcon was supposed to be a teen or 20-year-old, not a grown man. Yeah. See, that part I don't know, but just like something's missing from the Fantastic Four, something's missing with Anthony Mackie. Even though I think he did a really good job in Brave New World, he did show up for his own film, but I just felt like it was just too much going on to make people like want to be on board with it. I liked it though. I did, but I also understand why people don't like it or it didn't resonate. I guess they did the worked to make Anthony Mackie the new Captain America on the Disney Plus series, but it didn't translate in its own movie. It felt forced though. There's nothing worse than feeling forced. I think Marvel was trying to figure out what do we do now that we don't have Chris Evans and freaking Robert Downey Jr. with us anymore. And they have not found, I think Spider-Man is, and maybe Doctor Strange has been like the only like, okay, this works. Oh, and of course the Deadpool and Wolverine thing was phenomenal. Those are the only three really big hits since those movies. And there's other movies that get honorable mentions, but I haven't seen them yet. I'm like, I don't even care to see them. So I don't know. Brave New World was underrated, but I see why it flopped, and he's not exactly my new Captain America yet. Falcon was a cool character in itself. Yes. Falcon, he was great. to be Captain America, you kind of have to have that I'm here to represent America in spite of anyone not liking me for whatever reason. And I felt like that unsureness and the struggle of being a Black man, or the struggle of not being heard. Like, there was one scene in Brave New World where the president, or the Red Hulk, was really like being shady, like, yeah, you're not, you know, you're not Chris Evans Mac of Captain America. And I felt like, even though Mackie stood his ground, I just felt like we've kind of visited those kind of conversations in the series. He should have evolved, and hopefully people should have evolved. Like, this is our Captain America. I don't know. It's basically my issue with most Black films on any level. Like, for example, in most cases, I'm usually the only Black or very little Black people work in anything I've ever done. And I've never felt like a victim. I never felt like, I've never been mistreated for being Black. I never felt undermined. I feel like when you are invited to be in spaces where you're the minority, then usually there's something about your energy that makes people feel comfortable with you. It might be because you're, in my case, I watch a lot of pop culture. So I resonate with my coworkers because I just watch a lot of random stuff. So I could talk to anybody. So in other words, I don't feel like, well, we need more Black people here. No one ever makes me feel uncomfortable for being Black where I work. But I'm definitely the minority. Like, now when I go to a site, some of my sites, there might be more diversity, but I'm talking about like corporate events. No, but I never would be like, well, we need more diversity. This is normal in New York. It's rare. I've never been privileged to be with a predominantly Black company. But at the same time, I never felt like, oh, I can't work in this environment. No, my coworkers treat me nice. I never have an issue. We have enough in common to talk. I'm not going to share my Black struggle with you. You're never going to get it. But maybe if I'm talking to a woman, I can share my woman struggle with you. But it's interesting. So I feel like in the world of Marvel, if Mackie was chosen to be the Captain America, then those conversations, in my opinion, weren't necessary, because I'm assuming America chose this Captain America because they're comfortable with him being Captain freaking America. You know what I'm saying? I hope I don't know. I don't know if I'm articulating what I'm trying to say. Even Black Panther had some type of flower to grant with power, doesn't he? He was the vibranium suit, yes, and still superpowered, yes. Falcon and the Winter Soldier trying to support the terrorists for political agenda. Brave New World trying to tell Ross that he's stupid. Yes, never, never he was. Never he was the main character. Just looked like a side character. I agree. You're not Steve Rogers. Yes, yes, yes. I was hoping the movie would have addressed that more and making us appreciate Sam Williams as his own Captain America. Yes, and I felt like that undermined freaking Anthony Mackie, aka the new Captain America. I thought we already went through this in the Disney Plus series. By now, even though most of America was on board, your own president take a dig at you. Now, granted, Ross is an asshole. He's always been a jerk, but it's just like, come on, man. That was said with racist undertone. And I think that should have been taken out because there was already a hate that there was a Black Captain America. So why are we're still having this undertone thing going on? It's weird. It's almost like he set him up to fail, which has been a new normal with Disney, with Black Disney characters, whether it be um there's a couple of characters that this doesn't work. Reva from freaking Obi-Wan used to her up. Um Mackie. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of the Ironheart thing because you made her a ghetto freaking stereotype. She's an MIT student, dumbass. Like, why is she a ghetto stereotype? I'm over it. Oh, you already fixed Sam Wilson. I need one more cool speech from Sam, like Chris Evans Cap, because Cap is all about inspiring people to do better. Honestly, that worked for me, but I think the issue it was the jabs, the racist jabs about how like you're not the Captain America. And I felt like that need to be removed because real America had the energy with Cap. But I don't agree on how Anthony wasn't given a chance. But I do understand the placement of Mackie. So in other words, I think any placement of position would be set with issues, black or not, because there's not too many stands out in the MCU after Endgame. That's the real issue. That's the elephant in the room. The fact that you put that on a freaking black man, in my opinion, was unfair. Like I felt like, nah, man, you should have put Spider-Man or Tom Holland's in that spot. Because the problem is you don't have an anchor, period, and you don't have too many stands out, period. So if that's the elephant in the room, why would you put Mackie in that position? Put someone else in that position. Don't put that on a black man. It just wasn't fair at all. You could have even made him Black Captain America, but it looked like they was trying to make him the anchor or the go-to, the no. Mm-mm. I think Thor would have been a good candidate, but the recent movie messed that up. So now people were mad at Thor or the character of Thor. Um, I mean, you have Ironheart and Sherry, which were cool characters. They were until you made freaking Ironheart a freaking stereotype. Dare I say Black Panther Wakanda Forever was better than Black Panther 1. I uh, I I would agree I would agree to extent, but a lot of people could not resonate with the darkness and realism of death and grief in that movie. Just like a lot of people can't quite resonate with Thunderbolts. I think when it comes to movies, the success depends on what the masses can relate to. Um, yeah. Mm-mm. Trying to be Cap, trying to be Cap is side character Cap, enjoying fighting for facts because it's his purpose. And Ultron says a man who can't live without war. Also, Cap's movies have personal problems. Mm. Yeah, you're right. You put actors on the spot and make them look bad. I don't think that was fair. How I mean I understand what they were trying to do. I guess they were hoping it would have this success and appeal that Black Panther did. When Black Panther came out, there was uh it was like an excitement for a black superhero. We're in Africa, black pride, black excellence, powerful minds, whatever, powerful society. And that really resonated with black people because honestly, we don't see that enough. But my opinion, I think Marvel said, well, since Black Panther did good, let's just do a Black Captain America. And I'm like, did Anthony earn that? Not at that time, no. No. It's not like, I think that's the biggest mistake Hollywood does with the black audience in general, is that they just feel like, oh, you're black, you're black, you'll resonate with the blacks. No. You have to earn it. You have to earn those positions of power. So I don't know. It's weird. Winter Soldier fighting for people without killing his brother. True. or saving his brother. I know a YouTuber by the name of Chillmonger who is black and is the representation and elevation of black characters in comics and movies. He doesn't like the Jon Stewart or Sam William as Cap because it's a mantle that could be passed, and black representation never stays with the character. Jon Stewart is a Green Lantern. Most people think of him as Holt Jordan, like a generational grow up with the Jon Stewart as the character in the Justice League animated series. Yeah, we know Disney, y'all. We know why Captain America or Mackie was put there, and I think that was unfair to have done that to him. But let's give Anthony Mackie his props for doing a good job, having the courage to be in that position, even though it went against him, but it's not his fault. I felt like if they had put the wrong white actor in that position of power, it would have had the same backlash. I hope Marvel learned from the whole Anthony Mackie thing, that you need to let the audience choose who the standout is and then double down on that. What made Iron Man so successful is this Robert Downey Jr. the charisma was oozing off the freaking screen. Oozing. You felt like this person exists in our universe for real. Like, and the cockiness and the comedy beats and just everything about Iron Man is just so, it's a good start. It's kind of like the new Superman. Everything's in its favor. Good casting, good actors, everything. You believe these things exist. With this phases 4, 5, and now 6, y'all got a lot of work to do. Where's our Iron Man of this era? You don't have it yet at all. You have potentials. You have some potentials, but Iron Man was a slam dunk. It worked. It worked. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, the first Black Panther movie was great representation of Black people and maybe the best of NCU. It was beautiful. I think that was the first time I realized, because I tend to really love a lot of white media, white culture. I think I've said it before. I wasn't in a Black environment until way later on in life. And even though, of course, my parents and siblings are Black, my parents' best friends were white. So I really didn't have that culture. And I didn't have like real culture to Black culture until like later on, like junior high school, this, that, and the third. But I think that's one of the reasons why I do well in white environments, because that's where I started. I started in white environments, and thank God, no issues, no weird stuff going on. It was like open with love kind of like type things, like inclusive. So I say all that, I never had the need to want to see Black representation until I saw it. And I saw it in the MCU, and it was beautiful. Like really beautiful. I mean, most Black media that I grew up with, either I'm a slave, either I'm a ghetto girl, either I'm, nothing positive. So why would I resonate with that? Even though quote unquote Ebonics or is a subculture of Black culture, in my world in New York City, no, not really. Like it's a small fraction of Black culture, but on television, you would have thought it was the main thing. And I just never resonated really with Black anything, because I was like, this is a lie. No. Like my mother was a teacher, bro. My grandparents lived in a very affluent neighborhood, and they owned their house when they were in California. My grandfather owned ran a franchise, and my grandmother worked for the city, got paid very well. So in other words, Like I used to always go, who are these black people? Because not my freaking family. We're not poor, we're not rich, we're something in the middle. But the point is, I just never cared for black media because, you know, it's always a stereotype. And you see Wakanda Forever, black excellence, powerful minds, powerful society. I said, that's the black I know. Like, and again, of course, all races have good and bad, poor, rich, ignorant, you know, educated. All races has that in their culture, but black people or even minorities in general are represented usually in a very, very micro lens, and it's usually like really stereotypic, and it's negative most of the time. Like the one thing that pisses me off is when Asian people come on the freaking screen and they got the freaking Asian music all the time. The Asian girls in New York, they're sassy. There's one on TikTok. She sounds like she grew up in Harlem with like a sister girl vibe type thing. And I'm like, what? It's weird. Or how like Latin people are always like cleaning people and stuff. And I'm like, now where I live near the Heights, almost all the Latin people own their freaking businesses. They run their own businesses. They're entrepreneurs. You don't share their stories. You don't share it the way I see it. So the point is, you know, I didn't realize how powerful positive black representation was until we had Black Panther. But it's just like, and I kind of think they kind of took a step back with the whole Anthony Mackie thing, with the storyline where all my life I had to fight. And I'm like, bro, every other black movie's like that. I don't want to see it no more. It's like, show our excellence, show our strength in spite of the oppression, in spite of the freaking situations, that we still keep our head up high. We keep our head up high no matter what's going on with us. That is the power of someone that's a minority. Period. Whether you're black, Latin, Asian. Like, I have an Asian friend. Some of the racist stuff people say to her is unbelievable in New York. And she keeps her head up high in spite of how people attack her because she's Asian. That's part of being America too, keeping your head up high even when people try to like go against you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they didn't put Anthony Mackie in the position to succeed. Absolutely. Trisha, you nailed it. The rumors were that the original concept of the movie teased poorly for audiences, and they were multiple reshoots. Black Panther was a cultural movement in time of our country. Yeah. Oh, snap. I didn't realize how late it was. I got an alert just now. I'm like, wait, I know what that alert is. But Marvel, I think moving forward, if you're going to try to have more of an inclusive world, it should not be forced. It should be genuine. It should not be a stereotype. And stop setting up people to fail. Even the women get set up to fail. I would say women and black people get set up the most in the MCU. And it's like, it just has to stop. Because then when things fail, you blame the women or you blame the black person you casted. Just write good stories and roles and make like, for example, I do love how they did Sue Storm. Keep it up. You're on a good path. Now that's what Captain America inspires people to be. Yes. That's even like some of my friends, and I try my best to like let people express themselves the way they need to be expressed. We all have different experiences, especially dealing with people outside of our race. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of it's ugly. But one thing I always want to share with people, my good experience, because I want people to stop lumping things together, right? So let's say you have a bad experience with someone that's not your race. Try your best to seclude it to that person as an individual as opposed to a whole culture. Now, for some people, it has been like really, really bad. I've heard some really sad stories, to be honest. But I'm just saying, like, if I have a bad encounter with someone that's not black, I'm not going to be like, well, all these people are like that. I try to be like, this person may not be comfortable with me, may not be comfortable with people who look like me, and I do my very best to get out that energy. We're not going to be a victim of the situation. It is what it is. But it's just like, I don't know. It's, it's interesting. But I realized I got to go to bed. Like I said, I got an alert and I'm like, holy, how does a review become 2 hours and 30 minutes? Because I got awesome people in the chat. I love you all. Thank you guys so much for helping me get some of my issues with not only Fantastic Four, but Marvel in general. I hope they come across this. I hope they take some notes. I hope I'm some of the reason why they fix some of the issues. Because I'm like, I love Marvel. And I'm not going to waver on you because DC got one good movie. A win is a win, but you can't compare one movie to 37. Stop it, y'all. Stop. Thank you. And listen, I'm doing it nice and sweaty. It is hot as hell. And I'm like, now I think about it, why do I have a sweater on? It's like, it is hot here. 2.5 hours later, I'm like, why am I so hot? You got a sweater on, stupid, in a heat wave. I will see you guys literally, hopefully in a day or two, we'll start our Peacemaker. It will be ad-free. I'm sorry if you know me from the ads, but ads don't work in a watch party. And thank you as always. Like, my favorite level of support is people in the chats. It's even more, it's better than money, to be honest. Because it's like, then I'm not talking to myself. I saw your thanks for watching and thought, damn, this is supposed to be the end. Yes. No, Dan will tell you I am chatty as hell. And then like, I'm kind of like I'm healing. So I don't really stay around my friends too much because like sometimes I get really, really dark and I want to protect them. So I really don't talk to people as much as I used to because I was like, I'm trying to protect my friends. I love them. But I'm sure when I get better coverage, I need to see a therapist. For now, you guys are my therapist. But for real, thanks for watching. And I'll be back in a few hours. I'll be back hopefully Saturday night to do Peacemaker with you for the first time. I know Danny's a Marvel head. That's how I got to meet him. So I'm like, yay. Not Marvel, DC head. I'm like, I get to like be with, I know like the DC crowd, y'all, you impressed me. I'm here for it. Thank you. This was nice. This was really, really nice. So I'll see you guys in a few hours or day, and have a great Friday. Have a great Friday. I don't have a Friday tradition because I work in retail. Friday to me is really Saturday. Saturday, I'm like, oh snap, it's Saturday. But yeah, I got one more day. Nice, you have a good one. I may see Dan on the other channel. All right. Well, y'all have a good evening, and I'll see you guys soon. Stay blessed. Bye. Fantastic Four.